What's going on, guys? This is Wheeler and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a simple video. We're going to go on a drive in my C8 ZR1 and I'm going to talk to you guys about how I was able to secure such an early car and be one of the first ZR1 owners out there for the 2025 model year. So let's hop behind the wheel and get started. All right, so let's get into how I became the proud owner of this C8 ZR1, how I was one of the few that were able to get their hands on an early car of the highly coveted car that this is. Truth be told, the story is about 50% luck and 50% having an established relationship with a specific dealer. Let's go back a little bit. This is my 5th Corvette now, and my very first Corvette that I bought was in August of 2015. I bought a 2016 Corvette Stingray 3LT in Arctic White with the adrenaline red interior. Saw it online. That was whenever the Corvettes had just, the C7 generation had only been out for about 2 years. You could regularly find them for sticker price. Mine was about like $62,000, I think, and great bang for buck vehicle. Found it online, drove down to Cox Chevrolet in Bradenton, Florida. That's where I bought the car. Loved that car to death, put about 70,000 miles on it, and that's what kind of ignited my passion for these vehicles. Held on to that car for a number of years. In late 2018, that's whenever they were started to announce that the C7 ZR1 was coming out, and that car was supposed to have, crazy power, over 750, high wing, slightly redesigned front end. And all I knew is I wanted that car, but I didn't know how to get it. I'd never ordered a car before, especially never like custom ordered a car before. Didn't know how to go about that, what the process was, very unfamiliar. All I knew is that, hey, it was a Corvette. I'll just call my local Chevy dealer and hopefully I can get my hands on one. So I called the dealership most local to me, which was Don Mealy Chevrolet here in Claremont, Florida. Had told them, yeah, I've had a Corvette for a number of years. I'm looking to get the ZR1. Can I get an allocation? And I guess at the time there wasn't as much hype around the ZR1 in general. Shockingly, I was able to get an allocation and placed an order for a 2019 C7 ZR1, basically the poster press spec with the Sebring orange, with the black interior, with Sebring orange accent stitching, orange seat belts, ZTK package, all the bells and whistles, and was able to get that car for sticker from Don Mealy Chevrolet as my first Corvette that I ever purchased for them for $143,000 MSRP. And at this point, like I said, I'd already put about 70,000 miles on my Stingray, had the Stingray and the ZR1, the white and orange, loved both C7s so much. Then the following year, the C8 Stingrays were coming out, the new redesign for the mid-engine, and I thought, oh, well, my C7 Stingray is up to like 70,000 miles now. I'll just private sell that one or trade it in, whichever I can get a better deal on, and get the new Stingray. Called Don Mealy again, placed an order for the C8 Stingray, was able to get an astonishingly early car somehow. That was like the 200th car off the production line. Got it just before the COVID lockdowns hit, thankfully, and before they shut the plant down. I was able to secure that car. So I had the C8 Stingray and the C7 ZR1. They known who I was at this point. I bought basically the C7 ZR1, the highest ticket vehicle Chevrolet had ever made, for 143 grand. They knew who I was. They knew I wasn't in the vehicles to flip them, as I still held on to the ZR1 and established a really good relationship with them. Naturally, whenever the C8 Z06 came out, I really wanted that car too. So I had traded the Stingray for the Z06. So kind of just making my way up. But again, put over 65,000 miles on that C8 Stingray. Again, bulletproof, not one issue. So I was like, yep, I definitely still want a Corvette. Got the Z06, and by this point, this is now my 3rd Corvette that I bought from them, all high-ticket cars. Really established like a strong foundation with Chevrolet in general and with that dealership specifically. But then the C8 ZR1s were coming out, and I knew that would be a different ball game. By this point, I was familiar with like kind of the territory of the Corvettes. I knew the C8 ZR1 was highly coveted, highly hyped up, 1,000 horsepower, breaking all these lap records. Everybody's going to want one. It's going to be slightly lower production if the C7 ZR1 was anything to go off of, and it'll be really hard to get one. So I was bugging my salesman like crazy. Hey, do you know anything? Do you have any details? Can I get my hands on a ZR1? Hear anything? And he just, months and months and months went by, and he wasn't getting any updates from corporate or from higher ups that anything was coming in. And months kept going on, and I just wasn't hearing anything. So I didn't even know if they were going to be able to get any allocations. Obviously, knowing what we know now, production numbers were ultra low for 2025, and they are one of the like highest ticket Corvette dealers in Florida and potentially in the country in terms of volume of Corvette sales. and they only, now finding out, got 2 allocations for the ZR1. But going back a little bit, wasn't hearing anything, wasn't hearing any updates from them. So I kind of just wrote off the idea of being able to get a ZR1, and I was just content with my Z06. That car, 650 horsepower, looks close enough to what the ZR1 would have been, and I love that car. I still love that car. The Z06 is a phenomenal vehicle, especially for the incentives that they're offering on them right now and the discounts you can get off some of those cars. Beautiful cars, fantastic. But I'd kind of given up on the idea of getting a ZR1, which I was fine with. I don't need every brand new Corvette. Time went by, and then comes June 1st of this year, whenever I was fully under the impression that I wasn't gonna be able to get a C8 ZR1. I get a call from my salesman saying, hey, do you still want a ZR1? And I was taken aback. I was like, potentially. What do you got for me? And he said that he has one coming in. It'll be here in about 2 weeks. It's already spec'd. It already has a TPW, or target production week. Do you want it? And I was a bit surprised because I don't know why the car was already spec'd, why I was being called, what the situation was, if Chevrolet was just spec'ing them corporately. I didn't know what the situation was. Obviously, I just had a few questions. What did it look like? What are its options? What color is it? Does it have the high wing, especially the aero package? And what are you selling it for? Because at this point, it was known that ZR1s were selling for 100, 200, 250,000 over MSRP, and I was not going to pay that. No way I was going to pay that. So obviously the big thing was price. What are you selling it for? And they had come back and told me that they could sell it for 50 over, which is the best price I'd heard of at the time. Still one of the best prices I've heard of in general for the ZR1s. I don't really know anybody personally that was able to get one for MSRP. Most have been paying, crazy numbers. And he told me that the car was Arctic white, it had blue accents, it had all the carbon fiber they could get, it had the wing, ZTK, it had everything. And I said, yes. Yeah, let's do it. They sent me over the spec and I saw it, thought it looked great, and I was like, yep, let's do it. But I was still confused as to how they got a ZR1, why it was already spec'd. Come to find out, they only got 2 ZR1 allocations for 2025, and they're an extremely high volume dealer. Even they only got 2. Both of those allocations were supposed to go to the dealership owners. So Don Mealy himself, Don Mealy Chevrolet, the owner himself, and I believe his son were supposed to get the 2 allocations, which is normal. That generally happens at dealerships where they only get like maybe 1 or 2 cars that the owners will buy them. They have obviously say so, they can just snipe the car and whatever. And that's just what happens, that's just normal. So I wasn't surprised at that being the case. And Don Mealy always specs his cars. He's bought dozens of Corvettes over the years, specs his cars with white and blue, which is what this car is, if you may notice. So this car was supposed to be his car. Don Mealy is now in his like 70s or 80s at this point, I believe. And he came to the conclusion, what do I really need with a 1,000 horsepower rear-wheel drive car? I don't really need this vehicle. I told the sales team, call someone. Call a customer that has been loyal to us for many years and someone that you think would be fit for the car and wouldn't flip it. And I was who they called. So truthfully, just got lucky that they happened to call me, and that's really the case. That's what happened. So of the 2 allocations, this one got delivered. The other allocation was actually pushed to a 2026, and they still haven't received. So I lucked out and literally got the only 2025 allocation that dealership had, and it ended up being car number 20, delivered June 15th of this year. And that's this car, and that's how I got it. So I know there's gonna be a bunch of people in the comments saying, oh, that's ridiculous, you're a loyal customer, you still paid 50 over, blah, blah, blah. You didn't even get to spec it, blah, 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 blah. To each their own, right? Like I said, I don't know anybody that's buying these cars for MSRP, definitely not for a number of years. At the very least, I would say most people are paying $100,000, $200,000 over MSRP, especially the one you see being for sale on like Bring Your Trailer sites like that, $50,000. I more than thought the car was worth the $263,000 out the door price that I paid. I do think it was worth that. Its sticker was $213 plus $50 for the markup. I paid $263. I think this is a $263,000 car, and that was worth it to me. So that's why I got it. But about the spec, because some people would be like, oh, you didn't even get to choose the colors you want. So what color would I have picked? I love orange cars. I think orange looks fantastic on the Corvettes in particular, as they have sharper lines. I had orange in the C7 ZR1. That is probably what I would have picked. However, I am actually thankful that I didn't get to spec the car, because in hindsight, obviously I've gone through the configurator and messed around with colors of the cars and built the exact car I would have got, which would be Sebring orange with a black center stripe and black wheels. And truthfully, I like this spec better. I think the white and black and blue looks cleaner. I think it stands out more, and I love the look of this car. The car I would have spec'd, I don't like as much as this one, so it was kind of a blessing that I didn't get to spec my own car, because I ended up getting something that I like even more. It has reinvigorated my love for light colored wheels. Silver wheels or brushed aluminum. I think it looks fantastic. If it was me, I would have chosen black, which I think would have been a mistake. It really worked out for the best, and I truly believe like everything happens for a reason and how it's supposed to, and I'm glad that I was able to get my hands on this particular car, and that's the truth. And truthfully, over the many years that I've been a customer of Don Mealy Chevrolet, I have nothing but good things to say about them. They have been fantastic people for years that I've got to deal with. Both my salesman, his name is actually Christian also, ironically, and JC over there at Don Mealy Chevrolet. They're not paying me to say any of this. I don't have any type of like actual legal relationship with them, but they are fantastic people and have always taken care of me, and being able to secure me early cars, even whenever I thought it was unlikely and wouldn't happen, they still made it happen. If you're in the Orlando area or looking for a Corvette, definitely check out Don Mealy. They are great guys, and can't recommend them enough. That is the story of how I got my C8 ZR1. Again, like 50% luck, 50%, you know, being a loyal customer of Chevrolet. And owning this car has been an honestly tremendous experience. Even as they're picking up production for the ZR1s, I don't regret paying over sticker for this car at all. Again, I think it's 100% worth it. I love this car, and I continue to love it and enjoy it as every day goes by. And I think it's still 100% worth the $263,000. I don't care if it doesn't make money in the future. With the amount of miles that I put on these vehicles, it's unlikely that I will make any money on the car anyway, even if I got it for sticker, because of how much I drive them. So I really could not care less about its future value. I buy the car to track, to enjoy, and to show people, because that's what cars are made to do. They're meant to be driven and enjoyed and shown around. So that's what we're doing. So that is the story of how I got my C8 ZR1. Now you know, I guess what the potential course of action could be for you if you're looking to get your hands on a high ticket, more limited production number car in the future. Chevrolet is not like, you know, Ferrari or other brands where it's like, oh, we have to own this car in order to have the privilege to buy the new one. It wasn't a corporate decision. It was just by dealership basis on, do they know you? Do they know you're not going to flip the car? If they knew I was someone that constantly flipped cars as soon as I got them, or held on to them for a few months and then sold them to make a profit, I wouldn't have been called. So it's purely for being like a loyal customer over a number of years, someone that they know that they could trust, that wouldn't just ditch the car, and someone that would enjoy it. And they were right, and it went into good hands, because this car has been everywhere, and I drive it like crazy and will continue to drive it like crazy. So any questions or comments about that, I'm sure it's going to get, you know, a number of hateful comments in the comments below, because that's just YouTube. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave them below in the comment section. I read and try to respond to about every single comment, unless it's especially negative, then I might just ignore it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. Next week, hopefully back to the drag strip with more cool videos, seeing if we can run some even better times as it continues to cool down here. It's still 85 degrees right now. It's 6:42 at night, so just waiting for the temperature to cool down. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for sticking around. As always, I appreciate it very much, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.